105.7 Lights FM.
We have from the Tenderloins, Joe Gatto, in the studio with us this morning.
I'm here.
It's a pleasure to see you. Joe, I just want to tell you, Jamie has been talking about you all morning. I know everything. I have no questions.
Okay, I have her do my
She tweeted me. She said, this is what he had for breakfast. We have so much. We have the history of you.
I make sure to check in with her before I do anything because no one knows me.
I got nothing, Christine. What do you got?
I don't know. So, Joe, it seems like you've been pretty busy. First of all, you have the most beautiful family.
Oh, thank you. Yes, they're fun.
And you guys have your Halloween plans all set?
Yeah. She's my daughter wants to be an astronaut, and my son. You know when you shop and it says you might also like, and that little thing pops up on the bottom. Yeah. So when they bought my daughter's, my 2-year-old son, that is going to be the Earth. It's basically an inflatable beach ball that you wear, and it has a little thing. So they're going to be matching.
She gets to float around him.
Yes,
exactly.
That's right.
How it works.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm going to be an alien, and Mom's going to be an astronaut as well. So.
Oh, no, nice plan.
Yeah. Bessie actually found astronaut pajamas. It's like a onesie, so she gets to wear pajamas all day.
Oh,
but that's going to be hard to walk around the neighborhood with those things, I think.
I think
it could be comfortable.
Yeah, I just hope my son doesn't pop.
And are you a friendly alien?
I'm friendly. Yeah.
Good. Okay.
I'm here for candy.
Okay. Nice. Nice. So you guys are, incredibly busy. The Impractical Jokers. You've got this new show on TBS.
Yeah. Yes. The Misery
Index.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
So tell us about that.
It's really fun. It's a game show, which is always fun. And basically, we work with contestants to help them rate on a scale called the Misery Index, which event is considered worse. And it's a lot of just fun banter, which we always do. As the Tenderloins, we always just get in these silly debates anyway. So how do we make a game show around it?
Yeah.
Let's use these guys. So it's been a lot of fun. And my favorite part actually was when we filmed it. It's like a good old school play along factor. Like when you watch and you yell at the TV. It's like one of those where people disagree and stuff. When we were filming, it felt like The Price is Right. People were yelling numbers out and stuff. It was really
you got
fun.
lots to choose from too.
Yeah.
I mean, it's almost comical, just the bad news that's out there.
Absolutely. And everything is true from the headlines, ripped from the headlines. So you see all these crazy, insane things. And everything actually happened either in London or Florida.
And it's kind of taking the place of the National Enquirer.
Yeah,
at this point.
That's very much it. Yeah.
That's always when we do news stories. They call it stupid news for the news. It's always something in Florida.
Yeah, Florida.
Always.
Yeah, it really is. A lot goes on
for that stuff too.
Yeah.
And the Impractical Joker is now really popular in the UK as well.
Yes, yeah. We just got back from our tour over there, which is great. And then this season we'll hit our 200th episode. And then season 9 will start up next year. So
now you guys have been together for a long time, and when I was down seeing my son, his girlfriend loves the show, and they binge watched it for a weekend.
Ah, great.
And the thing that I always wanted to know, you guys know each other so well. Did you ever come to a point where you go, no, I think this crosses a line? Yeah,
that happens. We
often or
not
really?
often enough that I can remember some stories, but not all the time. They had an idea for a punishment where they wanted to name my son. When I had my son,
permanently.
The name, they're like, well, you could change his name, and I'm like, no, I'm not. And they wanted to name him Hummus Luigi. And I was like, it's funny. I get it as a comedian. I was like, but guys, this is life. There's got to be something that we're not. Yeah. They're like, oh, well, you could change it in a year. I'm like, why am I punishing my son?
Well, what's the longest lasting? Somebody's got a tattoo, right?
Yeah. The boys have some tattoos from them. I won an episode, and the 3 of them lost, and they all got some tattoos. Sal has a portrait of Jaden Smith on his thigh. Yeah.
He's got to live with that.
He does. Yeah. He says every time he gets a massage, it's funny because when he flips over, the people are like, oh.
Does he have to explain?
And every time he has to explain it to the person, like, listen,
And you guys are going to be at Radio City Music Hall.
Yeah.
Popular demand. You had to add a show.
Yeah. We're going to be there in January. So we're really excited about that. It's always, as a New Yorker and growing up here and seeing things there, you know what that feels like to be on that stage is unbelievable. So it was just really great to be at Radio City and going back. So
coming up in January.
Do you still do some of the comedy that you got? I mean, you started kind of as a comedy team.
Yeah, we started as an improv group back in the day. Yeah, and the show allows for a lot of improv, Impractical Jokers, and the live stage show actually too. We'll go on rants and riffs. We'll find something to talk about. One time actually we had a show and a woman had fallen asleep, and we all saw her at the same time, and she had a little too much to drink, and then she. So I decided to go out and do part of the show sitting next to her in the stands, and she slept through the whole thing. It was really fun. Yeah, and they videoed it and showed it to her the next day. We found out through the magic of Twitter, and she was so upset. She was like, Joe was sitting right next to me, and I didn't know.
And she missed it.
Yeah, she missed it. Yeah, it was very funny.
But it lives on, like you said, social media.
It does it, right?
Yeah. You guys, so you got together with Staten Island, right? You made the leap to Long Island.
Yeah, now I'm in Long Island. Yes, I made the move to the other island. yeah, I live out in Long Island now.
Quite the swim.
Everybody stayed local in New York,
the boys,
New Jersey?
Everybody. Two of them are in Staten Island, and then James is in the city here, and then I'm in Long Island. We like to not have too big of a commute.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we do all of our filming in New York. Because it helps because there's so many people that come through, and with the show being popular, you need to find people who don't know you.
That's got to be the biggest challenge at this point.
Yeah.
How do people not know who you are and that they're being set up for something?
Yeah. And they probably act a certain way, too. It's not like, well, great to meet you. They're looking around.
Everybody always thinks that I'm plotting something. It's funny. Like, I'll be shopping in Target, and I'll just ask, like, an employee, excuse me, where are the paper towels? And they're like, no, you're not getting me.
I'm not falling for that.
And I'm like, I just need help. I'm a human.
Do you guys spend any off-camera time together? I know even with families and, if you grow up with friends, is there a time for that?
Yeah, we're true friends. We've been best friends for every Christmas Eve. I go to Sal's house at night after put my kids to bed. I always pop every year. I've been doing it forever. I pop by. His family comes to his house. I drive to Staten Island from Long Island, and I have a cup of coffee and hang out there.
That's so nice.
Yeah, and then,
because it's kind of like, a band being together for years and years. There was never a point that you were going to break up the band. You guys have always been good.
No, yeah. I mean, just before we found the show Jokers, we had a couple pilots that failed and didn't take it, and then we were going in different directions and different things, and I was like, this isn't what I'm looking to do. I'm not looking to be an actor on a show. Like, we were putting together like a sketch show, and they said, okay, let's try to figure out a show that we all like, and this was our last shot, actually. Basically, we was Jokers, and it hit. So it goes to show, 16-year overnight success. Stick with it, kids.
That's what they say. They say you come out of nowhere. It usually starts many years beforehand.
Yeah, that's true.
Anything else that you're planning on the? Can you let us know about that might be coming up? Give us a little warning.
There might be a movie coming out early next year.
Yeah. Really?
Yeah.
Wait, if it's coming out early next year, that means it might have happened.
It may come out early next year. So I that's all I can say. And that's all. Jamie, I'll fill you in on details later.
Because
she needs to know first.
We need to know, like, the red carpet premiere.
Yeah. We're excited about that. That's going to be a fun part of the journey. So.
Oh, great.
Do other cultures get the humor?
Yeah, they do. We're pretty big in we're big in the UK over there, but we're pretty big in India, which is interesting. We get it all the time on on the internet. People are like, "Oh, you have to come to India," and I'm like, "How do you even know our show?" I don't get how it works that it goes. Yeah, but I think it's funny because when we toured the UK humor, like, stuff doesn't translate for the live show. So when we did our first live show, we were in Belfast, and we're telling our jokes, and so they don't have some of the stuff. Like, we'll make a reference to like a Walgreens is one of my jokes. Right. Like I say, and they're like, I'm like, I got to figure out what your pharmacy is.
Yes, exactly. Let's get the equivalent.
So, like, the first show was very interesting compared to the second show. It was like a thesaurus of sorts.
Now we've got it, guys.
Yeah.
Is there a difference between a live show and taping for television?
Yeah.
I mean, it all looks like it's coming off the cuff and unplanned.
Yeah.
But the TV, you can always kind of go back and redo if you have to.
Yeah, you can. The big difference for us is the interaction we have with fans, because if we meet a fan during the filming of the TV show, it's a bad thing. We're mad at them. It's like, get away, you're ruining it. You know what I mean? So they're like, oh my God, I love you, Sal. It's like, go away. And then during a live show, it's when we really get to embrace our fandom and have a great time. That's why we love doing like the Comic-Cons and all that stuff, is because we get to jump in. Even the cruise, like the cruise is basically a vacation with our fans, the cruise that we do. So it's like, that's a different type of experience for everybody.
That's fantastic because, like, I feel like growing up, we didn't have, you would love somebody on TV or, a musician, you didn't have access.
Yeah.
It's so different. It's the social media and the fact that you guys are out there, the meet and greets. It's really nice
that you're able just to even connect or even see a tweet. And from this side of it, it's just as fun. Like, to be able to reach out to people that, basically make your career for you. If people didn't like us, we wouldn't be around. So it's kind of just fun to be able to give back and say, hey. And,
it goes both ways.
Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah.
So the second Radio City Music Hall show is going to be on January 19th. It's the Cranjus
McBasketball.
You told me you were going to pronounce it.
Yeah, yeah.
How did that name come up?
The Kratos McBasketball.
Yeah.
Actually, it's one of our. It became one of our skits out of nowhere because we did a bit every year. We love playing receptionists. It's like one of our things we do. So it's always fun to do because it's just a weird, awkward situation.
For Halloween, I was.
Yeah.
The cord only went so far.
So I was standing there. We were Sal sitting there, and we decided to make him look for someone. There's 3 people sitting in the room. We said, Sal, just keep calling for Kratos McBasketball. So Sal just starts calling, checking with everybody if their name, and he starts Stark 11 because it's such a silly name. So we said, oh, we can make a whole challenge this where you just have to say names and not laugh. So we every season now we play a game, a tournament in the show called Kratos McBasketball where you have to say these weird names. You know,
usually in a doctor's office.
It is, yeah. It's amongst we let in 6 or 7 people, and the room goes from confused to amused to angry that they're not being called. So it's
Where
really
is that person?
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, who is Mother Coconuts?
But the funny thing is, it's one of the oldest pranks in the book. I mean, we all did it as kids. We called neighbors and stuff.
Absolutely. Famously on The Simpsons, right? They'd always call up and say names. So.
All right, so where's the best place for us to get tickets to see you at Radio City?
They're on Ticketmaster. Yeah, you could get them. You could get them there, or the box office at Radio City. Yeah, or you know what? You could just Jamie's got a pocket full, so you can just find her.
Just get in touch with Jamie.
Yeah,
Jamie will hook us
Producer
up.
Jamie will hook you up.
Yes, thank you.
Super.
Well, Joe,
great.
It's great to see you.
It's great to see you.
Yeah, thanks for stopping by.
It's always
Coming
fun.
up so early in the morning.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I love you guys. Thank you.
Come on back.
I will. Thank you for the support always. You guys are great.
Always.
Thank you.
106.7 Lights FM.